Alright, so we're gonna be doing some gift openings pretty much. So we're gonna real quickly just do this real quick. Get a building going while we're at it. So I went ahead and grabbed the jewel chest pack. Not all the way, but just just a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna see what we get. I'm gonna do it in packs of 25. Okay. Don't really care about those. Or these. Or these. I don't mind these. We'll try like 9. Okay, I don't like 9. 9 sucks. Let's try 22. Okay. At least I got something. See, I never seem to get anything good out of that. Like ever. Like here, I'll go 25 again. Whoops. Let me see, like there we got a rare Crespotox. That's not bad. And same thing here, like a mutated brain. Another mutated brain, but that's it. And do packs of 20 maybe. Yeah, blah. Frostwing. Oh, an epic card. That's a good deal. Can make use of that. Like 3 lightning balls. 1 bloodsucker out of that whole deal. Wow, that's impressive. And a rare ancient blueprint. That's not too bad. Okay. And then this is where people like to get picky. I agree with the general rule of thumb being about 3 to 5. We'll start with 3 and see where that takes us. Let's try 5, actually. Let's go with 5. Okay, it's not getting any better at 5. Let's just stick to 3. A lot of these won't be any good, but can only hope for the best. So, like, there's some commons. And there's a legendary attack jewel if I ever want it. There's a rare attack jewel. An epic cav jewel. Cool. Okay. Infantry attack jewel. Okay. Some mildly okay stuff. Okay. Another engine attack jewel and an uncommon int jewel. Another cav jewel. Okay. And some more jewels and then 4 more. Okay. Alright, that's not too bad. So that gives me, let's see how many in total. So 2 blue jewels, purple, and then I got 2 blues in there. Okay. So we're getting there, like we're not all the way, but I mean, that's pretty close. All the while, it's like attack jewels for traps all day long. Trap and jack jewels are everywhere. If only, right? Looks like you get some wall defense jewels in here, some worm jewels. Could definitely use like gold saber jewels, for example. I wouldn't mind those. Obviously, gold champ jewels would be like god tier, but that's never gonna happen. So, yeah. So as far as this pack is concerned, it's not bad. For my war gear, I do know I can definitely want to pull. I'm gonna end up pulling the jewels out of that blighter. Hey, what's up? And I want to replace it with this Ambrosial Cup, and I think that's what we're gonna do today. So we've got 3 blue chisels, and that's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna replace that. I'm gonna see if we can get some more blue jills real quickly, which we do have more. There's another one, so that should make 2 purples pretty much, or not 2. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I think so, right? So we should be able to yeah, get 2 purples there. And if I pull 2 more purples out, I could then make a legendary, which I think might be worth the effort. It depends on how many we got, I guess. I'm just gonna check to make sure I don't have any stray jewels laying around anywhere. Obviously, we still got these 2 jewels we'll pull out. Okay, that all checks out. So, like, here we got a legendary Trojan or Saber Jewel in there. But yeah, so what I'm thinking of doing, right, is I could pull some of those attack jewels out for the Cav and get myself a legendary Cav jewel in there. That's what I could do. It would take 2 purples. That would give me at least 1 purple Cav jewel for sure. Or I could then pull... Yeah, so it's like I can either that or I can pull 1 range jewel per type and give myself 2 and give like 3 there. I'd get like close. I mean, that's not like bad. I think I want to pull 2 Cav jewels out and make a legendary. I think that's really what I want to end up doing. If it's coming from me anyway. That to me makes the most sense. So I'll just go ahead and let's pick out a piece of gear that I don't necessarily want Cav jewels in, or don't need them per se, because I switch it up from time to time. It's like I say that, but then it's like that's I guess the only problem with that, right, is that you'd be sacrificing 12%, which would be 24% overall. So I'd be dropping 2% for a mild increase. But on the other hand, it does open up the possibility of putting in like one of these defense jewels. If I've got a decent defense jewel, that might not actually end up too bad. And then I'll just wait until I can get a better jewel, which would work just fine. I can put a gold wall defense jewel in there. Like there's this, 5%, 5% defense. Like that may not be that bad. Like I wouldn't be sacrificing a whole lot. 2% here, but I think that's what I want to do. Is I'll take that Terror Jewel out and then I'll put it in there for now until I can get a replacement part for it. All right, so being that be the case, right? I still got to pull 2 of those purples out of that Blight Ring at some point, but here what we'll do is we'll just pull that Cav Jewel out and we'll Cav that out. We'll fuse those together and make ourselves a legendary Cav Jewel. And then let's go ahead and put in... See, what piece do I want to put that in? I think we said what we were going to put it in here, right? So we'll put a Cav Jewel in there. And so now the other 2 pieces of gear do not have a Cav Jewel in here. So because they don't have Cav Jewels in here, I'm gonna need to put in the let's see, what can I put that in? I can put in a Terror Jewel and I can put in a Worm Jewel. That'll be okay. Like I think that'll suffice for now until I can get replacements, which will work, I think. It's not terrible. And so now what we're going to do is basically for our war gear, in case anybody's wondering what my war gear is, we're just going to pull over to an Ambrosial Cup. Because you'll see here it's 138, 163, and 136. So it's mildly questionable, and the HP is not a huge increase. right? Now, compared to that versus like the normal blightering, you'll see that it does kick up that HP a considerable amount, but then you lose a lot in your cav, you lose a lot in your infantry, and a lot just everywhere else. And I don't see there being a whole lot of gain in that unless I did this route, where there I can really kick up the attack stats up a considerable amount. And seeing as how HP, 15% of it, I mean, yeah, it's a big deal, but it's not that bad. Like I can end up, if I really need to, I can move over to mitts, move the mitts over, and then all of a sudden now it's 43%. Like make one slight adjustment there, and that's doesn't make a huge difference other than it kicks the attack down. That's really the only thing I sacrifice is between those sets. But the way I think, right, is what I could do is if I ever got like a really high HP jewel, like a champ jewel, right, I could put those in there, and then that would basically fix that problem. But I really needed to get another cav jewel in here so that it brings these two stats up even, and my infantry attacks up a little bit, because that's currently kind of the setup that I've got. Now, of course, between that and like using the normal blightering, I was a little bit more, evened out, except my cav attack was dropping, and I didn't like that. Like, it really didn't do what I wanted it to do. And so by going this route, I basically kick them all up, and then I increase that infantry attack a godzillion times higher than it usually is. And the only reason why it is because of just the current jewels that I have in there. The moment I get some more legendary range jewels and cav jewels in there, that will make a huge difference. Then, of course, I'd like to increase these stats too as well, but that's the current setup that I'm going with for now. So we finally got a blue inversion cup in there, which I think will help, because it adds a little bit of HP. And this is one thing you probably didn't notice between this set and the old set, is I actually added HP over to range and infantry, which I think is an interesting kind of, sort of change, because it gives my HP into two different spots. So it's not like I didn't really sacrifice a ton of HP. I really got more HP and attack for the whole deal in the end, really. But in the end, when I actually do get the time, my long-term goal is we're going to get this Skull Crusher to purple, because the moment we do, that's going to kick up the attack, the range attack, infantry defense. It all comes into play to making me an inf range setup. But because I've got some pretty decent cav pieces in there, I think that's just going to kick it all up to a fairly decent amount. I think this is really an ideal place to be as far as sets go, because if you actually want to see what this looks like on a core stat, right? If you actually want to know what the stats look like, it's actually kind of interesting, seeing as how I don't know, I gotta like turn all that stuff off. But yeah, so why you do this? I hate when it does this. Like, it chooses to irritate me, which is fine. Alright, there. Will it let me? Question mark, will it? I don't know. Alright, you know what? What happens if I just, if I went over and just click this and this? There we go. Alright, so we're gonna put on the current set that I'm planning on. I was thinking about moving over to Dragon Talents, but hold on. I need my cav attack. There we go. It should be in there now. Are they? Question mark? What the heck? Okay, there we go. And then I need my Skull Crusher, my Codex, and then I need my where Tis. It's missing for some reason. Do they not have it in this update? It's an interesting thought. Hold on, let me check. It's gonna be in here, I bet. There it is. It's just the damn filter settings. Okay. Get this. That one. That one. Okay. So that's kind of what it looks like. Like, the core stats on that 70, 75 and cav. The cav attack's actually pretty high on there. Like, on the long term end. Like, it looks pretty good on the high end. It actually kicks up the cav HP a considerable amount. It puts 38% into the army attack and then puts up 48% in the HP. I don't personally feel like this is really such a bad set because you've already seen that, you know, when I kick up all the jewels and such, it really doesn't hurt it any. Now, if I wanted to kick this cav up any more than I do, I just switch these out and put on a pair of dragon talons. If I can find the damn things. Oh, yeah. Where are my dragon talons? They're there. You know, what that does is that puts me in range, inf, and a little bit into cav. So I go from like a cav focus to something else. It kicks up the HP a little bit, which might not be such a bad idea. It's just, I don't like the fact that, you know, between that versus this, you know, at least in this setup, I've got a considerable jump into cav, and I feel like that's worth it. Anyways, that's pretty much that.